The water glass hits the table. Splash. Papers ruined. Admiral Morrison's dress white soaked. Everyone freezes. The briefing room. 12 senior officers, all staring at the woman who just destroyed a 4-star admiral's career in 10 words. She stands there, calm. Lieutenant Commander Sarah Webb, holding her tablet like nothing happened. 30 seconds earlier, Morrison is mid-rant. This is exactly why women shouldn't be in combat operations. Emotional, unstable, a liability. He's pointing at Sarah, making an example. She's the only female officer in the room. You want to know what's wrong with the military? Look at officers like this, hiding behind diversity quotas. Zero actual combat experience. Sarah stays silent, doesn't defend herself, just stands there. Tell them. Morrison continues. Tell them your call sign. Oh wait. You don't have one because you've never deployed. That's when she speaks. Reaper 1, sir. The room goes completely silent. Morrison laughs. Reaper 1, that's classified above top secret. You expect us to believe you? Sarah sets her tablet on the table, pulls up a file, projects it on the screen. Mission logs, classified operations, 87 confirmed eliminations, all under one call sign. Reaper 1. Morrison's laugh dies. His face drains of color. Because Reaper 1 isn't just a call sign, it's a legend. The drone pilot who never missed. The operator who made impossible decisions that saved thousands of lives. The one every admiral knows about but nobody's supposed to talk about. That's impossible, Morrison whispers. Sir, you wanted to know my experience. There it is. But here's what Morrison doesn't understand yet. Sarah Webb isn't just any drone pilot. She's the drone pilot, the one who ran the most classified counterterrorism operations in the past decade, the one whose decisions prevented 3 major attacks on American soil, the one whose identity is protected at the highest levels, until Morrison just tried to expose it in front of 12 officers. This briefing is over, Sarah says quietly. Everyone except Admiral Morrison, please leave. The 11 other officers file out, confused, shocked. Nobody argues with Reaper 1. When they're alone, Sarah's demeanor changes, not threatening, just absolute certainty. Sir, you just violated operational security. I didn't know it. Ignorance isn't a defense. You demanded I reveal my call sign in an unsecured setting. 12 witnesses. Morrison realizes what he's done. Reaper 1's identity is classified because she's still active, still running operations. Her face, her name, her presence must remain unknown. He just compromised everything. I'll file a report. Explain the context of the report is already filed, sent to SOCOM, NSA, and the Pentagon. 3 minutes ago while you were talking, Morrison sees her tablet. She wasn't just standing there. She was documenting, recording, building her case in real time. You recorded this briefing? Standard protocol for security violations. Everything you said is now part of the official record. Here's what Morrison doesn't know yet. Sarah Webb isn't a lieutenant commander. That's her cover. Her actual operational authority is classified above most admirals' clearance levels. Reaper 1 answers directly to a joint task force that reports to the Secretary of Defense. She doesn't follow the chain of command. She is the chain of command for her operations. Morrison just tried to humiliate someone who could end his career with a single report. She already sent it. What happens now? Morrison asks. Now, you receive orders, immediate reassignment, medical retirement, whatever they decide. You're destroying my career because I hurt your feelings. I'm protecting operational security because you endangered active operations. This isn't personal, it's protocol. But what Sarah reveals next shows the real damage. Sir, do you know what Reaper 1 does? Drone operations are wrong. I don't fly drones. I authorize drone strikes. I'm the final approval for eliminations. The person who decides yes or no when there's no time for committee decisions. Morrison's face goes paler. You're that operator? 87 authorizations, 87 confirmed eliminations, 0 civilian casualties. Perfect record because I don't make emotional decisions. Here's what that means. Reaper 1 isn't in a command center pressing buttons. She's the human safeguard, the operator who verifies targets, assesses collateral risk, and makes life or death calls in seconds. 3 years ago, Chicago terrorist cell, bomb prepared, 4 targets identified. Reaper 1 had 45 seconds to decide, approve the strike in a populated area or risk the bomb detonating at a sports stadium. She approved. 4 eliminated. 70,000 stadium attendees saved. 0 civilian casualties because she calculated the exact window. 2 years ago, German military base, American official compromised, selling classified intel. Reaper 1 had 90 seconds. Authorize elimination of an American on Allied soil or let him escape with nuclear secrets. She authorized. Problem eliminated. Secrets protected. International incident avoided because she handled the political fallout before the strike happened. That's Reaper 1, not just a call sign, a authority level, a clearance, a responsibility nobody wants but somebody has to carry. You just tried to expose the person holding the hardest job in special operations, Sarah says, in front of 11 witnesses, in an unsecured room. Morrison sits down heavily. I didn't know. You didn't ask. You assumed. What can I do? Nothing. The system is already moving. By tomorrow, you'll receive orders, probably medical retirement, stress-related. It's the kind way to remove you without admitting why. But Morrison isn't done. This is because I criticized women in combat. No, sir. This is because you compromised operational security. Your opinions are irrelevant. Your actions are not. Here's what happens next. 18 hours later, Morrison receives orders, immediate medical retirement, stress and health concerns, 30-day transition, his career, 40 years of service, ends because he didn't recognize the person standing in front of him. Sarah continues her work, briefings, authorizations, decisions that save lives while remaining invisible. 3 months later, new admiral takes Morrison's position. First day, classified briefing about Reaper 1 protocols. You will encounter this operator. You will not know her face. You will not know her real assignment. If she's in your command, treat her like any other officer. Do not ask questions. Do not investigate. Do not compromise her cover. The new admiral asks, how will I know if she's there? You won't. That's the point. 6 months after Morrison's retirement, Sarah runs her most critical operation yet. Embassy attack planned. 7 American diplomats targeted. 30-minute window. 3 separate cells. Reaper 1 coordinates 3 simultaneous strikes. Different time zones. Different authorization levels. Each one requiring split-second decisions with international implications. All 3 strikes successful. 7 diplomats saved. 0 civilian casualties. 3 cells eliminated. The operation never makes news. Nobody knows how close they came to losing an embassy. Nobody except the 13 people with high enough clearance to read the report. One of them, the Secretary of Defense, sends a message. Reaper 1, exceptional work. Again, Sarah doesn't respond, just files the commendation in her classified record and moves to the next briefing. 1 year later, Sarah stands in another conference room, different base, different officers, same situation. A colonel questions her presence. Ma'am, this is a classified briefing for combat operators. I'm aware. With respect, your file shows logistics and support. That's what my file is supposed to show. The colonel pushes. I need to verify your clearance level. Sarah pulls out her tablet. Same move she made with Morrison. Brings up her actual file. The colonel goes silent. Reads, face changing from skeptical to shocked. I apologize, ma'am. No apology needed. You did your job. Verified credentials. That's correct protocol. This is what makes Reaper 1 different. She doesn't use her authority as a weapon. Doesn't threaten. Doesn't intimidate. Just exists. Does the job. Makes the impossible decisions that keep people safe. But here's what the military learned from Morrison's mistake. A classified directive went out. Every flag officer. Warning about operational security. Don't try to expose operators. Don't demand answers to questions above your clearance. Trust that people wearing insignia you don't recognize might be carrying responsibilities you can imagine. The directive doesn't mention Reaper 1 specifically, doesn't need to. Every flag officer knows who it's about. The operator Morrison tried to humiliate, the one who ended his career not through revenge, through proper security protocols. 2 years after Morrison's retirement, he's interviewed for a military publication, talking about his career, his service, his legacy. The interviewer asks, "Any regrets?" Morrison pauses. 1. I once tried to embarrass an officer I thought wasn't qualified. Turned out she was the most qualified person in the room. That mistake taught me my final lesson. What lesson? Never assume you know someone's story, especially in the military. The quietest person at the table might be carrying the heaviest responsibility. Remember Sarah Webb when you see someone questioned about their qualifications. When someone assumes authority based on appearances, real capability doesn't advertise. Real responsibility doesn't demand recognition. Reaper 1 continues her work, making decisions nobody else can make, carrying weight nobody else can carry, saving lives nobody will ever know about, all while staying invisible, unknown, unrecognized, until someone forces her to reveal herself. Then they learn why some identities are classified, not because of what she did, because of what she continues to do, every day, every authorization, every life or death decision, with a call sign that represents the hardest job in the military, the one nobody wants but somebody has to carry, and a career that ended instantly, not from revenge, from the simple act of following security protocols. Admiral Morrison learned that lesson the hard way. His 40-year career ended by 10 words, Reaper 1. Sir, the 2 words that revealed everything, and the 8 silent seconds that followed, while Sarah Webb calmly filed the report that ended his service.